Hello guys, welcome to Netexpertz. My name is Kapoor. So in this session, we talk about managing AD database. Okay. In the previous sessions, we talk about lots of stuffs. Okay. So in this session, we talk about first managing Active Directory database. Okay. So we talk about the database, the AD database. So as you already, all of you know that when I install AD services and when we configure AD services, so the server is automatically becoming a domain controller. This is my domain controller, and when this becoming a domain controller, one database, AD database, as you can see that, is automatically installed in this. Okay, so we talk about that database, which is automatically installed. So if we talk about the AD database, so AD database has some files. Now where AD database saved, as I told you, like it's in C, Windows, and then we have you can say that NTDS folder. In the NTDS folder we have some AD database file. Okay, this is the folder where your AD database saved. Okay, by default. Now we talk about the database files. Which files we have? Okay, so in AD database, we talk about the AD database. It has how many files? 5 files. NTDS.dit. DIT means directory. Okay, edb.log, it's a log file. It's a checkpoint files, okay, and they are the 2 reserve log files. So I'll tell you what this means. We talk about the first NTDS.dit. So NTDS.dit is a database main file, as you can see that. Okay, it maintains AD database file, as you can see that. So it maintains the AD database. Whatever you can create user accounts, computer accounts, anything in AD. Okay, this file maintain all the things. Okay, and now next it contains AD database partitions and objects. Now what is the meaning of objects? So those who doesn't know objects, don't see this video. First you need to watch my previous videos. You need to know what about objects and everything. This is the session 32. So please watch 1 to 31 sessions. After that you can see the video. Okay, this video is only for those candidates who watch till 1 to 31. Okay. Now, come about the AD objects. AD objects is what? It's your user accounts, computer accounts, OUs, okay, groups. So that is what you have AD objects. So whatever you can create user account or computer account or OU, anything you can create, it automatically saves in NTDS.dit file. Okay, and the partitions. We talk about AD partitions too in the upcoming lectures. So AD has 4 partitions, which is also automatically saves in NTDS.dit. Okay. Now next we have a edb-star.log. It's a transaction log. Now what is the meaning of transactions? Like if I give an example, like in your bank accounts, you can give the transactions, like you can withdraw the money or you can add the money in the bank account. Okay, that's what transaction it is. Like say, whatever you can do in the AD, okay, that is known as transactions. It maintains the transaction, on which time you can create the user account, what user account name it is, okay, when you create, date, time, okay, whether you are able to create successfully or whether you are not able to create successfully, okay, you have rights or not, all the transactions are saved in edb-star.log. Okay, now next we have a edb.checkpoint. .check, chk means checkpoint file. It's a database checkpoint file. Okay, so we can create the database checkpoints also. Now what is the meaning of checkpoints over there is, like it's kind of a system restore point. Okay, like imagine that today my database is working very fine. So what I do, I can create one checkpoint today. Now imagine tomorrow you can install something in the AD. After that your database is not working properly. So you can take a back to your database where your database is working fine with the help of checkpoints. Okay, it's a kind of system restore. So all the checkpoints, if you have a checkpoint, if you take the snapshots, we talk about the AD snapshots also in upcoming lectures. So if you go for checkpoint in the if you create checkpoints in the database, if you create AD snapshots, so all the checkpoints are maintained by edb.chk. chk means checkpoint. Okay. Now next we have a 2 very good files. Name is edb-res0001.jrs and edb-res0002.jrs. These are the two. These two also are transaction logs. Okay, but it's a reserved transaction logs. Now where it saves or where it runs, okay, it runs in the case if you have low disk space on the server. Okay, if you have low disk space, what happens in that case? In that case, all the transaction logs are saved in edb 00001.grs file and 00002.grs file. When this file runs, if your server has a less disk space. Okay. Now next we need to understand is NTDS util. It's a command line tool. Remember these things. NTDS util, it's a command line tool. Okay. If you talk about the NTDS util, so it's a command line tool, or it's an executable file, as you can see that you can use to perform database maintenance, including creating snapshots, reallocating database files, and defragmentation. Now, what's the meaning of database maintenance is, like, we can maintain the database also. Like if you have any issues in the database, you can run database maintenance too. Okay, fine. You can go for including creating snapshots. If you want to create the snapshots, like I told you over there, if you create a checkpoint to your AD, okay, so we can use AD snapshots options. Okay, so with the help of AD snapshot, we can create the checkpoints. So with the help of NTDS util, we can go for AD snapshots as well. Reallocating database files, okay, and defragmentation. Now, what is the meaning of defragmentation is, like, you can arranging the files. Okay, like imagine I have a shelf. In the shelf, I have some books. Okay, right now I disarrange the books, but I need to arrange now. Now I want that my books are in a separate corner and the free space is free. So I want to, you can say that, make the space free in my shelf. So in that case, we can go for defragment. So like this in our AD also we have a defragmentation. In our hard disk also we have a defragmentation services also running. Okay, so if you want to rearrange your AD database files, in that case we can use defragmentation. So this is what we have: managing database and NTDS util. Okay, now and this we talk about deleting, restoring objects from ADDS. Okay, so we talk about deleting, restoring objects. Okay, we want to delete the object, and after that you can want to restore the objects, because we have four options actually. Number one is AD recycle bin. It's a very good option. It starts with 2008 R2 onwards. Okay, if you want to found this AD recycle bin option, so you need to go first Active Directory Administrative Center, ADAC. Okay, so we have a tool, Active Directory Administrative Center. Okay, when we install Active ADS services, so 6 tools are automatically installed. We already know that. Okay, so one of that tool is Active Directory Administrative Center. Okay, by default, this tool is, or this feature is disabled. Okay, remember these things. By default, this feature is disabled. Now, if you want to enable it, like imagine if you want to enable it, you need to go there, ADAC. Now, when you go to ADAC, and once you enable this feature, Active Directory Recycle bin, so you're not able to disable it. Remember these things. Once you enable this feature, you're not able to disable it. Okay, and the maximum time you can retrieve with the help of this feature, maximum time is 180 days. You can retrieve the AD objects, maximum 180 days, not more than that. If any objects is older than 180 days, so you're not able to retrieve it with the help of Active Directory Recycle bin. Okay. Now this is the feature which starts with 2008 R2 onwards, and by default this feature is disabled. Okay. Now next one we have a Windows Server Backup feature. So Windows Server Backup is already there in the you can say that in the admin tools. We have option Windows Server Backup, but when this option run, once you install the Windows Server Backup feature, so in Server 2000 or Server 2008 or 3, you can say that onwards, so Windows Server Backup feature is there. Okay, and you need to install. This is the feature. This is not a role. Okay, we have two things: roles and features in servers. So this is the feature. Okay, in features, you need to install this feature. Windows Server Backup is a feature, it's not a role. Okay, so once you install the Windows Server Backup, we have the options. You can go for backup schedule, or you want to backup once, you want to recover it. Okay, once you go to click on the backup once, we have the options like full, you want to go for full server backup. In customs, you can go for specific volumes, or if you want to take a backup only for ADS database, so in that case, we can use system state. Remember these things. System state. This is the option we can use. Okay, so if I take the backup system state, it means that it takes the complete ADS backup. Okay, database backup. Now in Azure Backup, what we have, like first you understand that the Azure Backup is what? Azure is a cloud platform. Okay, and we talk about the Azure Backup. So if you want to back up your AD database in the Azure, okay, we can go for that, because servers also supports cloud computing. Okay, whether it's 2016 server or 19 server, okay, they both support cloud computing, so we can go for that. Like if you have a subscription in Azure, okay, or you can migrate your servers in Azure, and you can take the backup also. To take the backup also to your database in the Azure. Okay, so we can go for Azure Backup as well. Now last we have a DPM. DPM is Data Protection Manager. Okay, it is a Microsoft System Center Enterprise Data Protection and Recovery product. Okay, so Microsoft System Center it's a SCCM, as you can say that. Okay, so it's a Microsoft product, as you can say that. Okay, so with the help of this System Center Enterprise Data Protection also, we can protect our, or we can take the backup of our AD database. Okay, so for that what we need a client server architecture, we need one DPM server, and we need to install a DPM client in the servers, and then we can take the backup. Okay, so this is the way how we have take the backups. We have four steps or 4 points to take the backup. So I hope you understand the session, guys. Okay, if you have any doubt, anything, please comment me. I'll give you all the answers. Okay, that's it for the session, guys. Thank you for watching.